Okay, very good. There it is. Okay, this week, Collecturbation. You wanted it, you got it. Witchfinder General, Death Penalty. We know you like the album cover. I can't imagine why. Okay. The dawn of the internet changed the world as we know it, of course. Within a few years, every ex-girlfriend or bad employee you fired could find you on Facebook easily. Google Maps ensured that we'd never have to ask strangers for directions again. And music and videos long forgotten resurfaced, finding an entirely new audience. This was indeed the case for the short-lived new wave of British heavy metal band, Witchfinder General.
Active for only a handful of years in the early 80s, the band churned out two incredibly obscure albums before dissolving in a haze of lineup changes and bad luck. Signed by the tiny Heavy Metal Records label in 1982, a label with questionable taste and even more questionable funding, responsible for gems from Handsome Beasts, Satanic Rites, and Soldier. The band only played a handful of shows and never got out of the UK.
I want to say Handsome Beast had a naked girl on the album cover too, or something.
I think it was,
It was racy, I think. Anyway, or
it was a
single, something. Anyway,
but their unique, clangy garage doom sound that likely alienated the music press and promoters back in the day became incredibly popular in the early 2000s, leading to multiple reissues of their back catalog. Currently, the band has over 27,000 followers on Spotify.
don't ever underestimate a good set of knockers. This is a little bit of free country.
Look out for me, come have some mushroom tea. Look out for me, yes, look out for me.
It remains unclear if the band originally envisioned their music to be proto-doom. Vocalist Zeeb Parkes admitted in a Kerrang interview that the studio botched the bass tone so badly that they actually offered the band extra hours as an apology. Even so, there's a lot to like on the debut album. Zeeb developed a campy sort of croon, kind of whiny at the edges, like a cross between Joe Elliott and Vince Neil. Despite the band's struggle with drummers and lack of touring acumen, it's hard to fault something like the song you just heard, the substance-obsessed Free Country, built on a chuggy riff reminiscent of Dio-era Sabbath, and the flash-rocking solo dished out by guitarist and bassist Phil Copes. It's aggressive and exciting.
The bass-heavy intro and jaunty riffing on No Stare wouldn't be out of place on an early Budgie album. The vocals take a full 2 minutes to show up, and when they do, well, let's just say the instrumental sections were nice while they lasted. I'm going to lay her. Do you know what I mean? I really want to make her scream. What could he mean?
Can't
I don't
imagine.
understand.
Subtle as a brick through the window. It's a short record, most of the tracks falling in the 3 to 4 minute range, but every song contains at least one spectacular riff or fist in the air chorus. The title track is infinitely entertaining, cycling haphazardly through Sab's adjacent riff tomfoolery and lyrics like insult their bodies till they're dead. And he says he hates our slang. Hey, it's not exactly Astral Weeks, but who cares? Of course, the closer is a grave-robbing, church-crashing, cowbell-abusing, riff-slinging anthem. Zeeb sounds downright regal, and the guitars are as restless as a coked-up televangelist. It's got the same scrappy lo-fi charm as early Pentagram, the kind of underdog band you can't help but root for, and then blast at full volume until your neighbors call the cops. I seem to recall the next album had a little bit more in terms of production acumen, but that is for another show, ladies and gentlemen. This is Witchfinder General.
Guilty witchwoman, because I'm the Witchfinder General. Trust be gone, and people come from many towns around. Find them guilty just to please me, beat them to a halt. Bite their brains and cut their veins and strike them to the ground. Some their bodies to...
This is the Snaggletooth Rock and Roll Podcast.